This is Jonesy from Jonesy TV coming at you with a review for DC's Legends of Tomorrow Season 1, Episode 6, which is entitled StarCity 2046. And this episode has to be one of my favorite episodes of the season. So basically, the premise is, after last week's episode in Russia, they accidentally go into the future, and the future is Star City in 2046, and it is basically the city is ruled by bandits and criminals, and the leader of them is Slade Wilson's son. Uh, and it is just a fantastic episode. We were introduced to Connor Hawk, which is Diggle's son, and we're introduced to old Oliver Queen, who is armless and who has basically been beaten and gone into hiding. And so this episode starts off with them, of course, finding Connor Hawk and getting to a fight with Connor, which is pretty sweet. And he was perfectly cast for this episode, and I hope we see more of him when he becomes part of the team sometime. But they get into a fight with him, and then they realize that they need to work with him, and they go and basically, well, Mick and excuse me, Captain Cold and Heatwave, Mick and Leonard go off on their own, and they go to a bar, and they realize that this is the world they've been waiting for. This is the world where they've could make the money they have. They could live like kings, as Mick says, and so but at the same time, Leonard is starting to realize we need to take out. This isn't the future we want, and so there's that rift there that's really gonna build throughout the season and really help out Heatwave's arc, and it's really sweet, and it's really cool in this episode. And eventually, at the end, he basically puts Heatwave or Mick back on the ship and locks him in and says, "Hey, you're not staying here. I don't care if you want to or not. You're coming with us." And so that rift begins here. There's some sweet fight scenes with all of them fighting just bandits and helping out Connor Hawk. And Oliver is played by Stephen Amell still, and he is basically, they put on facial prosthetics and everything to make him look like an older man, and it really ends up looking cool, I think. And he has a robotic arm, and basically in the end he stops Slade Wilson's son. The bandits scatter, but of course the city's still in turmoil, but they had to leave. And of course this whole episode riffs like, well, this is just a possible future, why are we helping him out? But the thing is, you gotta help out people even if maybe that future doesn't exist, because it belongs to somebody. So the whole arc of Oliver getting his basically his groove back on was fantastic, and the whole setting was sweet. I mean, this episode was one of the coolest sets they've done on the show, and it really was a good way to follow up last week. So I'd have to give this episode a 9.8 out of 10. Star City 2046. I just enjoyed it. It was over. And I watched Arrow for years too, and so this is just something different and something we hadn't seen in the DC Arrowverse, and so it was very cool. So I'd give this episode a 9.8. I hope you've enjoyed my review for DC's Legend of Tomorrow Season 2, Episode 6, Star City 2046. Remember to like and subscribe for more content, and check out more of my reviews for this week and next week, because we are doing DC weeks, and I should be uploading a Suicide Squad. My thoughts on Suicide Squad on Saturday. So stay tuned for more. This has been Jonesy from Jonesy TV signing off.